The convicted murderer of former South African Communist Party General Secretary Chris Hani has arrived in his country of origin, Poland. Janusz Waluś left South Africa on Friday following his deportation. He was released on parole in December 2022 on condition that he served 2 years of it in South Africa. The ANC, SACP and Chris Hani's family have requested government to open an inquest into the anti-apartheid activist's death. SACP Western Cape spokesperson Alex Mashile has more for us on this. Alex, thank you so much for joining us. Really do appreciate it. It is astounding that since 1993 an inquest has not been opened, given the cumulative effect of information that came through the TRC and earlier investigations. How much is unknown about the passing of Chris Hani, the assassination of Chris Hani, that an inquest may be able to determine?
Thank you very much for having us. Someone in Limpopo, KwaZulu-Natal might say Alex is speaking only for the Western Cape. So let me speak as the national spokesperson for the SACP. On Thursday, we met with the government's delegation led by Deputy President Paul Mashile. Our delegation comprised the Chris Hani family led by Medim Hani and the SACP General Secretary Solima Baila. We were with our legal representative who led our legal team throughout the years when we were opposing parole for Janusz Waluś. We expressed our appreciation to the government for reaching out, because that was essential when looking back at our experience of the past 30 years when we were opposing amnesty and parole for the convicted assassins. However, we expressed our concerns that the government reached out at the 11th hour. That was on the eve of the convicted assassin being released and deported to Poland. And at that time, plans had already been worked out, except for execution the following morning. The meeting started at 8 p.m. and the release of the prisoner will then take place 4 hours later at 12, because that was a new date in our calendar. We went on to emphasize the importance of the government assisting us with an inquest to uncover the entire truth in this case, including all the circumstances surrounding the assassination, because there are just so many facts that were ignored during the trial and that have today not been taken into account almost in every judgment, but particularly by the Constitutional Court.
The judgment of the Constitutional Court turned on the jurisprudence of parole, and the question of irrationality was on the basis that the opposition to the parole granting of Janusz Waluś was based on the fact that the crime he had committed was grievous and had created deep pain in society, and society is not healed from that. The Constitutional Court said if that is a true fact and to be accepted, it means that Janusz Walus would never be granted parole because that pain will never go away, which defeats the jurisprudence of parole. Was that not a sufficient reasoning at the time of your engagement?
That reasoning implies that releasing Janusz Walus will heal that pain, which is a false assertion. As things stand right now, this has just rubbed salt on an open wound that has not healed since the 10th of April 1993.
Additionally to that, the court said very importantly is that Waluś had demonstrated in their psychological assessments remorse. He had also importantly demonstrated a clean behavioral record while in prison. Those two are considerations for the parole board to weigh up in its consideration for parole, which are important to the jurisprudence of parole. What is the view of the SACP on that?
The Truth and Reconciliation Commission denied Janusz Walus amnesty because he was a liar who did not make full disclosure of the truth. That decision still stands. It has not been changed. In our view, based on that decision, he remains an unrepentant assassin because to this day, he has not participated in assisting the family and the SACP uncover the full truth in this case.
Right. Absolutely. Thank you so much for that. Really do appreciate it. Alex Mashile is the spokesperson for the South African Communist Party.